professionals with expertise to help you get back on track. Learn more about Pioneer Short Stay online at pioneercare.org. Pioneercare.org.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Tuesday morning. It is, I don't have my watch on, so I can't tell you what the temp is, but I can tell you.
Well, I could, let's see. It's 9:10.
Well, 9:10,
Yeah, but I can't give you the... It would do some looking up. It would take some looking up for me to get the temp.
4 below.
4 below. All right, there you go. Yesterday was our warmest day probably of the week, and I felt like it was one of the coldest days yet.
Really?
That wind was so awful yesterday, I thought. Even last night, it was just kind of cut through you. So anyway,
I didn't think it was too bad. I had
Really?
the hockey game in town, and so I was just kind of walking back.
I think later in the day, as we approached evening, I think it got a little bit better there for a time. But boy, the wind was really whipping last night when I went to bed again. So yeah,
I guess I
didn't pay any attention. You were at the hockey game.
No.
Yeah, how'd the hockey game go?
Yeah. They were in it for a while.
Okay, and who'd they play?
Alec.
Okay, well, there you have it. Why is Alexandria always such a powerhouse in our sports?
But it was like 0-0 after 1, 2-1 after 2, and then, yeah.
Okay. Well, they're always, Alexandria always has good sports teams. They always have. Even way back when I was in high school playing as an Otter, Alexandria was always a rival.
We always beat them.
Kind of like Moorhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We'd lose to Moorhead or Rickory. Those were
Rickory was always tough too.
That was the tough.
Boy,
teams.
those are teams from back in the day.
Yeah.
Huh? Wow. Well, anyway, yeah. So we'll just hope for a better game next time around. I know that's a tough team to beat for sure. All right. Well, you got any games on tap for you tonight?
I am doing a hockey game in town.
Okay. All right.
I got another hockey game.
Okay, you're kind of the hockey expert here.
Yeah, I kind of like it because I'm not that far from the rink, so I can just load everything up. Instead of bringing all the equipment back here, I just go home and then load it up in the morning and then bring it back in.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Well, a little bit later in the show, we're going to have a guest on the air with us, and I believe it will be Julie Stender from the lower campus at Hillcrest. She's the one that set the interview up, so at least either she or someone from the lower campus at Hillcrest is going to come at 9:35. Tell us about an open house that's coming up next week, February 3rd, a week from tonight. So if you've ever wondered what goes on over at the former Eisenhower School, where I was an alum, that was my grade school, kindergarten through 6th grade, Eisenhower School. Now it's the Hillcrest lower campus. So anyway, we're going to talk with a representative from Hillcrest coming up at 9:35.
And it looks nice in there. I was there for
very nice.
When it first opened. I did a news story and got a tour of it and everything, and it was for the ribbon cutting.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice.
It doesn't look like when I was there in kindergarten through 6th grade. No, it's beautiful. So anyway, we'll learn more about that coming up. And I did at 2:11 this morning get a text from Chris Tungseth, who is on American Idol.
Yep.
And I did watch last night. He was not on the first episode.
Okay.
I didn't realize first that they wouldn't, that we wouldn't get a peek kind of at everybody, but I guess they got to dole it out,
Yeah.
But it not 1 hour, but it's 2 hours. But I got to tell you, I had never watched American Idol, ever.
I watched it at the beginning.
But you know what? Like, unlike some other of those shows, and I think The Voice is one that I don't love because there's so much this off, like in the back with the coaches talking to the person. And American Idol just moves so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
You get to hear so many people sing. And then you get this short little backstory on each one of them. I thought it was really done well. Anyway, I couldn't believe that 2 hours had gone by last night when it came to an end. I thought, wait now, credits? What? But anyway, so we're going to continue watching on Monday nights until we see Chris. Well, anyway, in his response to me, I requested that, if it worked out, we'd love to have him on the air one day to talk a little bit about this ride that is American Idol, how it all came about, and, give us, some impressions of what it looked like along the way. So, first of all, he is not in town, so he can't be with us right now. And then this is something I never thought of, but he said, I do need to reach out to the PR and legal people from American Idol to see what I can and cannot do and say. And I totally understand that.
Oh, absolutely. You do not want to get in trouble just for a little interview with us.
No. And I said, hey, if it's a super hassle, we get it, maybe after this season or something. But just keep us in the loop. So that's where it stands. He would love to do it. He just needs to make sure he knows if he can and what he can potentially even tell us. So
yeah, because he might not be able to tell us anything until the live shows start.
Well, I do know. I did see on Facebook last night.
That's what confused me, because I saw the photos and I thought his episode aired.
Nope. It hasn't aired, but it has been recorded.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But it does show him with the golden ticket out in front of his face.
Exactly. That's what confused me.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of like watching a movie of an historical event where you know the outcome, but you see what's leading up to it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And I'm kind of glad, because I'm like, last night I'm like, oh, he's got to get the golden ticket. He's got to get the golden ticket. And then I saw it on Facebook that he did, in fact, get that. So that cat is out of the bag.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to be, or I assume, because it's pictures of him, but somebody else posted it. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, local guy doing well, and
I'm excited.
me too.
I might watch American Idol for the first time in like 20 years.
I had never watched it, but I thought this is something I could watch from now on, because you actually get to hear people sing, where the voice, it's just all this going on in the background, and it takes so long to hear somebody sing that I watched it once and I thought, well, that's enough of that. But American Idol's so different. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I definitely will be watching at 7 o'clock on Monday night. So looking forward to that. Well, okay, so just what we talked about yesterday. Isn't it time for some kind of agreement between people? Can they turn down the rhetoric? Can they turn down all of the violence? Can they all come to the table as adults and say, we got to do something? Well, it looks like that they're gonna try that. I'm talking about Minneapolis, of course. President Trump announced that border czar Tom Homan is now going to take charge of ICE operations in Minneapolis. Until last night, he had not been to Minneapolis during this whole debacle. And Tom Homan will report directly to the president. The move comes after ICE agents fatally shot Alex Preddy, a 37-year-old nurse, on Saturday. Preddy is the second U.S. citizen killed by ICE agents this month, following Renee Good's death on January 7th. So the guy that was formerly in charge of ICE operations on the ground, has been removed from Minneapolis. He has not been removed from his position, but he will no longer be the guy to report to in Minneapolis. Rather, it will be border czar Tom Homan. So I think that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that there's actually some coming together between the administration, the federal administration, Trump and his guys, and then the two in Minneapolis that we have,
zero respect for, and kind of have pointed the finger at these guys, and they've deserved it. They're the ones who have been stirring up, certainly stirring up trouble and not wanting to help it die down. So I think finally, did Governor Walz finally see, gosh, things are continuing to go south here. This is out of control. What's his? I think he's like, well, everybody forgot about fraud. We can move on.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he comes out looking like the guy who saved the day.
at the end of this.
There's no way he's going to look like the guy who's today.
Well, I don't know. At least he won't look like the guy who's stirring the pot anymore. I don't know what his motives are here. Why he and who knows? Maybe we have the Democratic Party behind all of this, saying, "Listen, you knucklehead, stop it. Call the president. Let's get this back into some kind of order." Also, there have been calls to get rid of Kristi Noem by some Democrats. One of those being John Fetterman. He said, she comes out way too strong, and she comes out calling people domestic terrorists before there's even been any kind of investigation at all. And he said, I don't like the way she responds to this kind of stuff. And there has been a clash between she and Tom Homan. Anyway, we'll see how that goes if she is directed to calm things down. I saw that her deputy person was on Fox News this morning rather than she herself. So I don't know.
That was probably a good call.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but anyway, they are also looking into her and how she's responding to what's going on on the ground in Minneapolis. So I think we'll see some changes. And again, never thought I'd ever hear myself say that I agree with John Fetterman.
You're saying that a lot.
Whoever thought we would say it? But I think he's got most common sense that I've seen come out of Washington in a long time. So I don't know, John, you stick to it there, buddy, and keep that common sense coming. That massive winter storm continued to batter the Northeast on Monday, left at least 25 people dead across several states. Deep snow stretched from Arkansas to New England, shutting down schools, halting traffic, canceling thousands of flights. Can you imagine?
That'd be a mess.
How long it's going to take to get airline travel back up and, everybody to where they're going to go?
Probably about a week.
It's going to take some time for sure. More than 750,000 customers lost power, mostly in the south, where ice storms snapped trees and lines. Nashville being one of the places that was, I think, one of the worst. But anyway, I do know that there are line crews, even from here in Minnesota, as close as Pelican Rapids, that have answered the call to go down to those southern states and help out with this power and get power restored to people. My son-in-law is actually one of those guys. Took a crew of 6 down there. So they were originally asked to come to a co-op in Virginia, about an hour or 90 minutes south of D.C. And as of a couple of days ago, they really had nothing to do. Nothing had really happened yet. So I don't know where that stands, but they were all kind of clamoring to say, hey, take us where you need us. Take us where we can be helpful and help restore power. So, and it's not just them. It's co-ops from across the country that had been called in. And so this time they were smart. They brought them in 2 days in advance of this potential storm, and of course in lots of areas it really hit. So anyway, I should, if they weren't so busy, I'd try to get him on the air and see what's going on down there. But anyway, so every day we're saying our prayers for safety for all those people who are out working in this crazy weather. Let's see what else we have for you. How do you like this? Here's a guy kind of that all of America loved because he was a former Olympian. He was a former Olympic snowboarder, Ryan Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted by the FBI for leading a violent drug network, has been arrested in Mexico. Wedding, who is 44, was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list back in March of last year. Wedding had lived in Mexico for more than 10 years. Officials say his network moved hundreds of kilograms of cocaine from Colombia through Mexico. And from a report I read this morning, the people that he's working with, there were a couple that were ready to turn some of these guys in, and they lost their lives. So this is a dangerous cartel.
Oh, yeah.
And so here's a former Olympian that turns cartel member. What on earth?
Money.
I guess. And a private jet crashed during takeoff in Bangor, Maine. Of course, They've had some rough weather up the East Coast, too. This happened on Sunday night, killed all 7 people and I take that back. 7 people and seriously injured 1 crew member. The crash occurred at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time when the Bombardier Challenger 650, which was registered to a Houston-based company, went down amid a winter storm that brought snow and poor visibility across the Northeast. So probably one of those flights that
should have been canceled.
Shouldn't have taken off.
But it was a private plane, and, somebody's yelling, we got to go.
I guess. And so 7 people lost their lives and 1 crew member is injured. So that's how that shook out. And a man and a woman allegedly spent over a year visiting car dealerships in Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, posing as customers interested in luxury pickup trucks. During test drives, they would either swap working key fobs for fakes or hand them to the woman who reportedly used a handheld device to clone the data in under 60 seconds. Investigators say that at least 20 vehicles worth more than $2.4 million were either stolen or targeted. The investigation began after 2 GMC Sierra Denali trucks, valued together at $177,000, vanished from an old Saybrook, Connecticut dealership in February. And they have now been charged with larceny and conspiracy. The male suspect, who wore a UPS uniform, identified himself as Dexter, remains unidentified and seems to be at large. So there you go. All right, we are going to talk a little bit about an upcoming open house at the Hillcrest Lower Campus, which is scheduled for a week from today, February 3rd. So we'll talk more about that coming up 9:35.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
When a loved one passes, we understand that honoring and preserving your family legacy matters. Hi, I'm Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. Creating your everlasting memorial is our specialty, and creating and crafting them locally is all that we do. Our inventory is extensive, so costs are manageable with the almost unlimited number of designs for you to choose. Your memorial preserves your family legacy with an everlasting warranty now and forever, guaranteed. Call us, visit us online at fergusfallsmonument.com. Memorials that matter.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guides to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
This is Craig Olson. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 for the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Football, basketball, soccer, hockey, volleyball, swimming, cross country. I interview area coaches to discuss the season, recap the last game, and preview upcoming games. Catch the live show at 8 on Saturday morning on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the live stream and archived shows at KBRFradio.com. Just click on Sports Streaming. The Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
Previously on the Under the Hood Show. When I was a kid, I had a chance to get a chemistry set.
I got
only
the chemistry set, and I started experimenting with the baking soda and the vinegar thing, and how cool that was. And, of course, I had to overdo it like I do everything. And I got it on a little bigger level, and I got in a lot of trouble, and we had to buy new carpet for the living room. It was not good.
You should listen to the Nordstrom's Under the Hood Show with the Motor Medics right here, KBRF, 1250 a.m., every Saturday at 10 a.m.
When you have a need for short-term therapy due to recent illness, injury, or surgery, you have a choice. Pioneer Short Stay offers you exceptional therapy and care in a cutting-edge setting. It feels more like a high-end hotel. A beautiful setting, well-appointed rooms and amenities, and professionals with expertise to help you get back on track. Learn more about Pioneer Short Stay online at pioneercare.org. Pioneercare.org.
Find out why the markets are moving. Get in-depth ag information with the Red River Farm Network on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Good morning, I'm Tyler Donaldson here on the Red River Farm Network with your market update. Grains markets continuing to trade mixed, but slightly higher. Soybeans contract still about a nickel higher. Corn trading about a penny lower. Abbott Futures Market analyst Ron McDaniel says U.S. grains exports are facing an uphill battle with stiff global pricing competition going forward.
The markets are very quiet. Europe still has a indigestion of wheat. And I should say, I just went through the calculations, even with a dollar adjustment, the U.S. is slipping. It's seasonal, but we are, 80, 85 cents more expensive than Brazil beans for the next 3 months. And we were competitive on corn, and now we're about 30 cents more expensive than Argentine corn, which they start shipping in March. So we're going to see some headwinds, but the weaker dollar kind of balances.
Cattle market seeing a slow start to the day's trade.
We've had the cold spell, weather stress, just huge cold storage reductions in beef and pork. The cold storage report Friday was the lowest in stores since 2009 on the beef and 1997 on the pork. So that is a factor. Weak dollar helps for sure. So I think we've got some stability there. It's reflecting more in the hogs again, where they just keep making new highs, and the speculator crowd just keeps buying every day. Open interest going up, but not much here on the cattle today.
Reporting agriculture's business, you're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
Don Wick here on behalf of the North Dakota Gelbvieh Association. I'm catching up with Bailey March with Golden Buckle Gelbvieh. Bailey, why does your operation go with Gelbvieh?
Yeah, so the Gelbvieh breed has a lot of good traits about them. One of the first few things that comes to my mind is their maternal strength and just a lot of good things for the commercial man.
It sounds like a breed with some very easygoing cows.
It is. Especially for our operation, my husband and I, we both have full-time jobs. He works off the farm, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to work from home. But I'm the one that's doing the calving, a lot of the feeding. So it's really great to have cattle that kind of take care of themselves and are a little bit more self-efficient during that calving period, too. And they have calves that get up and grow. So they definitely can't go wrong with putting a Gelbvieh bull or female to work in their herd.
Smart, reliable, profitable. Gelbvieh cattle. Visit ndgelbviehassociation.com for more information.
This is farm broadcaster Jamie Dickerman. Join the Red River Farm Network for exclusive coverage from the American Sugar Beet Growers Association annual meeting. We'll be in California reporting on the latest information from the beet industry. The Red River Farm Network coverage sponsored by the Red River Sugar Beet Growers Association, Amity Technology, and Red River Land Company. On air, online, and on the go, the Red River Farm Network is reporting agriculture's business.
With that morning cup of coffee and the Red River Farm Network on the radio, you're ready to take on the day. Farming and ranching is a bottom line business, and we treat it that way at the Red River Farm Network. Our team of dedicated ag journalists include Don Wick, Tyler Donaldson, and Jamie Dickerman, plus ag meteorologist Drew Lerner. Farm news, markets, and weather from the #1 rated farm radio team in the region. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business.
May wheat Minneapolis is 1 1/4 higher to 5.82 3/4. Chicago May wheat up 3/4 cent to 5.33 1/2. KC wheat's up 1/4 cent at 5.30. March corn a penny and 1/4 lower, 4.27 even. March soybeans 5 3/4 higher at 10.67 1/2. In Winnipeg, March canola is up 3.20 per metric ton to 6.50.30 Canadian. February live cattle are down 25 cents lower now to 235.77. March feeders 82 cents lower at 361.77. February hogs are up 27 cents at 88.57. April hogs up 32 cents. May hogs trading 2 cents higher at $100.25. This is the Red River Farm Network.
At American Federal Bank, decisions are made locally by people who know you. You get personal service, clear guidance, and banking designed to support your goals and protect your financial future every step. American Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
KBRFradio.com news. Get the news that matters delivered straight to your inbox. With KBRF Daily Headlines, you'll stay up to date on everything happening in your community. Sign up today and receive a roundup of the day's top stories all in one email. It's fast, convenient, and it's always free. From local updates to breaking news, KBRF brings you the headlines you need right at your fingertips. Visit KBRFradio.com and sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guides to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone at 9:36. Morning Talk brought to you this morning and every morning by our good friends over at Pioneer Care and at Fergus Falls Monument.
All right, and as mentioned, Julie Stender is our guest on the show. Julie is representing the lower campus at Hillcrest, and Julie, remind me of your title at the lower campus.
I'm the academic dean, which is kind of the assistant principal / in charge of all the curriculum.
Okay.
What I do there.
Okay.
Turn on number 3.
I think I had the wrong mic on there.
Yeah, turn on
One
number
more
3.
time.
Okay, so at the lower campus, I am the academic dean, which is kind of like the assistant principal / curriculum director.
Okay. Well, anyway, you've got an open house coming up, and that's the reason you're here. I don't know if you heard us talking earlier, but I always look at the lower campus. That's where I went to school, kindergarten through 6th grade, the old Eisenhower school. So that's how I refer to it.
We hear that a lot.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Although it looks an awful lot different than when I went to school at
Same
Eisenhower.
lockers, though, I heard.
Same lockers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so open house coming up next week. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so thanks for having me,
Yeah.
first of all. And our open house this year, when we started talking about the school year next year, which is crazy to start talking about in January, but we wanted it to be different and unique and get people in the door. So through discussion, we thought, let's have an open house, but we want people to come and experience a day in the life of what it is at the lower campus that's special. And so our open house is February 3rd, 6 to 7:30, and you can come at 6 and just explore, tour the school, and meet our teachers, and we'll have some current families and students there to answer any questions. But at 6:30, we're going to gather for a time of student-led worship. One of our favorite things in the week is chapel, and our kids lead it. They lead our singing.
And they're little kids.
I know. They're cute.
I see them every week on
Yeah.
Facebook, and I've got a couple of grand nieces who are at the lower campus, so it's always fun to see them. But, I mean, we're talking about first, second, third
Yeah.
graders sometime getting up there and leading worship. That's amazing.
It's one of our favorite times, and sometimes I just close my eyes and listen to 120 kids singing and praising Jesus, and just in awe of the confidence they have to step up there and play their guitar and the piano and the drums and lead vocal, and it's just it's our favorite time of the week. And so we thought, let's bring it to our open house, and so that's what we're going to do.
Okay, so tell me what grades are at the lower campus.
Yeah, preschool, so our 3- and 4-year-olds all the way through 5th grade.
Okay.
Is there. So, yeah, you can come, and our 5th graders lead the worship, and we're going to hear from a 3rd grader and a 5th grader. They're going to give their testimony that night, and I think that'll be so special. They just want to tell everyone about Jesus and everyone about what's happening at our school, so we're going to incorporate that evening from 6 to 7:15. There's childcare available, but we invite you to keep your kids with you too, and afterward just more fellowship. So we're looking forward to an event that maybe is a little bit different and unique to a typical open house, but we struggle with how do we explain to people what happens we get asked often, what is Christian classical education? What happens? Why is your school special? We just say, come and see.
Right.
You know, and I don't know if that's easy to describe, classical Christian education. I mean,
it's not.
No, it isn't. But people do ask a lot.
Yeah.
Can you give us kind of a
so
quick answer?
The goal of it, right, is we want kids to speak well, write well, and read well, and also cultivate a heart that seeks after the Lord. And so we do that by reading a lot of books. We talk about your heart and the 4 habits. We talk about virtues, and we just expose them to good literature. And so when you say all that, it's like, what does it even look like? Like, how does a kindergartner?
I think you're
is that
doing
okay?
That well.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does a kindergartner memorization and recitation is a huge part, and you are like, how does a 5-year-old memorize long passages of scripture and classical poetry? But they
can't believe it.
If you've seen it,
I have.
and it just, people are like, whoa. And so the best way we just want people to come and see what's happening there, because I can tell you about it, and it is amazing, but I even struggle to articulate what we're doing there. And so this is a way we thought, why don't they come and see? Let's take our favorite part of the week and reenact it for current families, new families looking for a place to belong, or maybe you're just curious, like, what's going on over there at the lower campus? And so this is an opportunity to come and see that.
And you know, this isn't a program that you have kind of staged, or it's not like putting together a Christmas program. This is just what you do every day.
Yeah, every day our students start their day by reciting scripture and poetry and other memory work, and then they also sing a hymn every morning, and it's just what they do. And Wednesdays is just part of our natural rhythm to gather together, to pause and to take time to thank the Lord for all he's doing, and to hear from students and other speakers that come in, and just it's just what they do. It's part of their rhythm. They don't even realize how amazing it is. And I think, wow, I wish I had that as a kid.
You know, and I liked what you said too about what it is you do on a daily basis, and you teach kids to read well, to write well. I mean, isn't that kind of what our kids, in addition to all the other good things, they need those basics too.
Yep. And I think one of the things that tags along with that is speaking well. You know, how do you engage in conversation as a teenager and as an adult where you can articulate your thoughts and not, just get frustrated? So when I taught pre-K before I did this, and my 5-year-olds would stand up and they would confidently speak in front of the whole class, and they're learning that rhythm and that muscle to be able to speak confidently to people and engage. So their hope is that when they leave Hillcrest, after they graduate, they're able to go out in the world and articulate the gospel well and engage in tough conversations with people well. And that's the whole picture goal that starts when they're 3, is just getting up and speaking well. So.
And you mentioned guests, and you do some really fun things too for the kids. I know a lot of times they'll gather, and I'll see your posts on Facebook where maybe the boys or the girls basketball team comes in, or the football team comes in. And you know, when you're 3 and 4, especially when you're maybe 4th and 5th grade, you really look up to those high school kids.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago when we merged Morning Sun into Hillcrest, that was a prayer of how to become one school, preschool through 12th grade. And we've been intentional about bringing those upper campus kids over. And the lower campus kids get so excited to see the football players in their jerseys and high-fiving them. And it's just a community that has built, and it's a strong community, and we love to be a part of it, and we would just like people to come experience it.
Absolutely. And you know, when you talk about community, that I think, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that is a real important piece of the whole Hillcrest family, is being part of this community, not being an island unto themselves.
Yeah, and we saw that this fall with the football team and the success they had.
Absolutely.
And I loved going to the state games at the U.S. Bank Stadium and looking up and saying, those are my kids. 100 lower campus kids just there in their comic gear, cheering on the older kids. And what a gift it is to have such amazing kids for them to look up to. And the upper campus kids are great with the little kids, and they take time to see them for who they are, and just thankful that the Lord answered that prayer to become one school and one community.
Yeah, and the community really supports you as well. And you know, back to that game, you could look up, and I think you could probably see, you know, some Otter jerseys up there too, because they were there supporting, and I think the two teams were so supportive of each other's great seasons, and so that's a fun way for this our community as a whole to come together and house all of these great schools.
And just supportive of each other. Even this winter, you could see an otter or a comet at a hockey game or a basketball game, and just cheering each other on in a community is a gift, and we realize that in a small community, so we're thankful for that as well.
Well, I think it's a good opportunity for people to, like you said, kind of kick the tires and just see what goes on, and what you're seeing when you come to the open house will be kind of a typical day in the life of Hillcrest Lower Campus.
We have some video that you can see. We actually mic'd up a 3rd grader, my daughter, and a 5th grader. They had a 360 camera around all day, so I know we're cutting a video, so you can actually see a day in the life of our students, and we're just excited for hopefully whoever comes will experience just what we love about our school. And
I think it's fun for people to meet teachers too.
Oh yeah.
And you might come into the school and you think, oh, you're a teacher here. I mean, maybe you don't know an awful lot about Hillcrest, and this is your opportunity to find out more.
Yeah, our staff and faculty are amazing. I say often, like, what a gift it is for me to see people use their gifts to love on others, and the kids just to love, the deep love they have for their students and care is, I just smile every day with the people I get to work with.
How many kids in a typical classroom would you say?
Yeah, so we have a cap of about 20.
Okay.
So we have 1 or 2 classes that are just over that, and I would say 18 is our average number of students, so small class sizes, which is great. And if it gets too big, we would split for that. Yeah.
And that might be something that some parents are looking for that they're not able to get anywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that. And I think to our support staff are all people who are either teachers and they just don't want to be. And so we have high qualified people working there. And it's a gift to have paras that can also teach your kids. So just excited for them.
So February 3rd, week from tonight.
Week from tonight, we're excited. So 6 to 6:30, just open house, come tour, talk to the teachers. 6:30 to 7:15 is the main event. There is childcare provided.
But I think your kids
I think
love
you want to
being part of
join.
it.
I know, even the babies we love when they come to chapel on Wednesdays, moms will bring their kids to come watch. And then 7:15, we'll have a time of fellowship, but no event would be complete without a giveaway. So we do have the opportunity to go enter a drawing for a free month's tuition.
Wow.
So any current family that comes can enter in for a free month's tuition, and the same with any new family for the next school year will be going a drawing for a free month's tuition.
Yeah, and don't you think this is a good opportunity for, and maybe that evening, I'm guessing could be people to hang around if people had questions after the event was over.
Yep, so we have some host couples that their main job is to answer questions and to mingle, and we have a few student ambassadors as well that are prepared to give tours and answer questions, and no question is a bad one. We love to talk about our school and what the Lord is doing there, and so yeah, just come and see, even if if you're just curious or you're wondered what's happening, we just invite you to come.
All right, well, I see all the videos, and it always looks like a whole lot of fun over there. So
always fun.
It's fun to show that off to the community. So next Tuesday night, everything gets underway at 6:30.
6 to 6:30 is tours. Yep.
Just come at 6.
Just come at 6.
And stay. Yeah. Bring the family.
Yep.
Yep.
We love to see you.
All right. Julie, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Julie Stender from the lower campus of Hillcrest, talking about their upcoming open house next Tuesday, and we'll keep reminding people of that too. So we'll take a quick break and come back and wrap the show up.
I'm Jessica at the Fergus Falls Monument Company. I'm the first person you see when you come through the door, and I also talk to customers every day on the phone. Many of them find choosing a memorial ahead of time is convenient and works best when there is time to plan and think about it. Planning ahead not only gets you the everlasting memorial of your choice, it also helps your family through the grieving process. At Fergus Falls Monument, we can help you plan ahead and choose a memorial made right here locally. Call or stop in or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, decisions are made locally by people who know you. You get personal service, clear guidance, and banking designed to support your goals and protect your financial future every step. American Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
News Talk 1250 KBRF 949 and 4 below right now in Fergus Falls. Morning Talk brought to you this morning and every morning by our friends over at Fergus Falls Monument Company and at Pioneer Care.
Okay, I just got a text from our friend Kevin, who was in Maryland, but now he lives in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And by the way, I follow him. We're friends on Facebook. And he and his wife are restoring this giant old house. And maybe he can text me and tell me how old it is. But I mean, this is like take it out to the walls and clean between the bricks. And I mean, I can't even imagine an undertaking like they are doing, but it's starting to take shape and it's going to be so cool. Anyway, he says this, being a resident now, Fetterman does talk a good game, and I agree with what he says often, but when the rubber meets the road, he nearly always votes party line. It's unfortunate. So I said, well, so then he's still a knucklehead? And I said, well, you know, I mean, he doesn't hold a candle to the knuckleheads we have here in this state. So you win, Kevin. Let's see what else we have for you here today. So here's a guy, his name is Patrick Rinaldi. He faces DUI charges after they found him driving a vehicle that was engulfed in flames. Could alcohol have been a factor, perhaps?
Yeah.
Oh, my
They're probably sitting there going, man, the gummies just kicked in and this is realistic.
Well, witnesses reported seeing heavy smoke from his car before he briefly stopped, then continued driving as flames consumed the entire vehicle. His wife was with him in the burning car. Barely escaped when he finally stopped. Deputies noted a strong alcohol odor, bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. So, yes, DUI.
I mean, for me, the first telltale sign of you being...
Driving a burning car.
Yeah. Your car's on fire and you're just going to go. That happened to my mom and dad one time. They were driving up to Bemidji to my sister's, and they're coming into town on 2, and they're just driving along. All of a sudden, boom, I don't remember if it was a sheriff or local police or some law enforcement official turned right in behind them, lit up their lights.
Oh, dear.
And they're like, okay, you need to get out of the car. And they're like, what's wrong? He goes, your car is on fire. You need to get out of the car.
Oh, my goodness.
They had just had their oil changed, and the plug for one of the things came out, and it just ignited the bottom of the car.
Oh, my gosh.
And so they drove all the way up to Bemidji. It was in the winter, and it was rubbing, and sure enough,
the car is nice and warm.
yeah, they're like, yeah, well, can we get our stuff? The law enforcement officer's like, the fire trucks are on their way. I've already called them in. Get out of the vehicle.
Oh, my goodness. Well, yeah, I mean, that's something you don't have a lot of experience with, so. Okay, there's 2 Rhode Island lawmakers. They want to, they have Mr. Potato Head specialty license plates in that state. Anyway, they want to eliminate them now because Hasbro has decided to relocate its headquarters to Boston, and they're mad about it. So no more Mr. Potato Head license plates.
I don't think I'd ever want a Mr. Potato Head license
so either.
plate.
Anyway, Republican Representative Brian Newberry filed legislation to stop the state's DMV from offering the plates, citing the untold economic harm from Hasbro's departure after nearly 70 years in Pawtucket. I'm sure you wouldn't want to see that happen.
No.
The plates, first issued in 2002, cost around $40, with half benefiting the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, which has received nearly $60,000 over the years.
Wow.
Food bank volunteer Lou Pryor criticized the proposal, warning any cuts to food programs will hurt vulnerable residents. So they said, leave Mr. Potato Head on the books.
Or maybe find something else.
Yeah.
And
yeah, a Mr. Potato Head plate. Do you ever buy those? Do they still call them vanity plates?
Yeah, they're like special occasion plates and stuff.
Or even the new special one. If you want the blackout one, do you have to pay more for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I just think license plates are expensive enough. I don't really
I just
care.
have the standard plates.
Me too. I don't. That is one thing I don't have to have is a special license plate.
Let's see what. Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to say you won't even believe this, but maybe you will. There was a California dad received death threats after videos of his 4-year-old daughter's NFL playoff predictions went viral. Oh, having some fun with an NFL prediction, and it's a 4-year-old, and he got death threats. Oh my goodness!
They need to find those people. And
people are
prosecute
crazy.
them.
What is the deal? But kind of like what that thing that I read yesterday, I really do blame social media for an awful lot of where we are today.
Oh yeah.
And there is no putting that. You know, that is Pandora's box, and it is wide open. Can't stuff that genie back in the bottle for sure.
No.
I just wish that there had been better ways to manage it, but I think that's too far gone. But anyway, here's a good story to wrap things up today. A Georgia middle school student says a quick-thinking teacher saved his life after he began choking on food in the cafeteria. His name is Dalton. He's a 7th grader in Cobb County. Said he was eating a burger when he suddenly couldn't breathe. He placed his hands around his neck to signal for help. Smart kid. English teacher who doesn't teach him, but immediately saw that he was in trouble, got over there, performed the Heimlich maneuver. She said, I didn't really even think, honestly. I just kind of reacted. And Dalton's mother, Courtney, said her son was turning blue before this teacher intervened. She took care of business, didn't think twice, and it could have been a tragic situation for our family, but thank heaven to the teacher who decided, I'm going to step in. So
yeah, I mean,
know what you're doing,
know
right?
What you're doing. And I think everybody should know how to do the Heimlich.
You know, and there was another story in the news today about a 4-year-old. A family was traveling down the highway, and I can't remember where this happened, but somehow they noticed that this 4-year-old was no longer breathing. And they called 911, and evidently they responded quickly. They must have been close. They dragged the boy out of the car, put him down on the road, and started doing chest compressions. And they brought out the paddles and the whole deal. And they were able to save this child's life with the quick thinking and the quick reaction, of these people that came to help. So every once in a while you see a story like that could have been so tragic, and it ends up being one of those stories you will never forget. And it makes you think, oh boy, I got to know how to do some of that life-saving stuff should I ever be in that situation.
Yeah, I worked at a camp when I was younger, so I had to become CPR certified
and
for
that's
everything.
So good, so good. All right, coming up on 10 o'clock, it's going to wrap it up on a Tuesday. So thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great day.